In an Excel pivot table, there's a list of fields, and when you add those fields to a pivot table, you can see their items. Here we have the order status field, and there are 4 items: back order, canceled, pending, and shipped. For the region, we have 3 items: Central, East, and West. You can also create calculated items and show those under a field as well. For the order status field, we have canceled orders, and these other 3 we're going to combine as sold. Back order plus pending plus shipped will be equal to sold. To create a calculated item, click on one of the existing items in the field. So under order status, I've clicked on back order. On the ribbon, under pivot table tools, click options. Click the arrow for calculations, click Fields, Items, and Sets, and click Calculated Item. In this window, we're going to create a name for the item. I'll call this sold. And then we create a formula. We start with an equal sign. And for this, I want the order status item. So I've clicked on it here, and these are the existing items. So we want back order. So if I click that and click insert, and then I'm going to do a space plus space. The space is optional. I just like it because it makes the formula easier to read. The next thing we want to add is pending. So I'm going to double click on it and then space plus space. The final item is shipped, so again double click. So sold will be the back order plus pending plus shipped. Click OK, which will add it to the pivot table and close this window. So here's our back order, pending and shipped are still there. We also have sold. Now we're getting a duplicate amount here because this amount is equal to those other 3. So our final step here will be to hide those. So I'm going to click the drop down for order status and remove the check marks for back order, pending, and shipped. Click OK. So now we can just see canceled and then the other 3 items combined as sold. There are a few restrictions when you add a calculated item to your pivot table. You won't be able to move this field into the report filter area. If I try and move order status up into report filter, you can see that circle with a diagonal line, which means I can't drop it up there. Also, we can't add another copy of order status to the pivot table. In most cases, you could put 2 copies of a field into a report, but once you've created a calculated item, you can't. The final warning is that if you have a large pivot table, adding a calculated item can make it quite slow. If possible, add the calculations in the source data and then just display those results in the pivot table. But in some situations, a calculated item is a good solution in a pivot table. For more Excel tips and tutorials, please visit my Contextures website at www.contextures.com.